Hey guys, I just wanted to show you how that new song I've been working on breaks down in the Pro Tools session. So here we go. Okay, so these two purple tracks right here, this is kind of where it all starts. This is the dummy recording. So not really worried about quality, just something that kind of holds it in place while I build it. But the song is already mostly written at this point.
I wish I could travel ahead in time.
And to get that perfectly in beat with the grid, I usually will start with a kick drum. I'll just put that on before I even do the dummy. Just put that on there so I can hear something that keeps me on the downbeat. Let me solo that. I don't hear everything there. It's already soloed. So like this.
I wish I could travel ahead in time.
And that keeps me on the grid.
'Cause there are
You want to stay on the grid so you can put, your effects that echo to the tempo and stuff. And then here you've got little additions, like I'll add the little congas like this. Oh. And I'll do kick reinforcements to build it. So the first part of the verse just has the one kick, and then the second one we add another kick. Kind of builds it.
show you
The second half of the
all
verse.
the blues and greens.
So
As
without it,
waterfalls are the only walls surrounding me.
and then with it
As
adds a
if
little-
fatigue
adds a little kick, right? No pun intended. And then when you get the chorus, you get really
said
aggressive.
bye to old Hyrule, spun a compass in the canyon.
just give it reinforcements. So basically, if I go through all the drums, this is one project. The drums are one project. So here's all my effects, and this section here is like the cave effects that you heard right here, like water drips and stuff.
Here in this cave, but it's just miles and miles
Lava.
of dust and open grave.
Hear that?
When
Let me
this
turn my
old
voice off so you
bag
can hear
of
it.
bones I'm dragging starts to ache, I try to force my
Okay, so that's the cave. I love this part because it's got a lot of cool effects going on. Wind, water, drips. There's all the cave effects. And then, I do some things with the drums too to add to that. Some reverbs and then to some cave. You can see the cave effects are really going at it here. I'm sending stuff out to cave reverbs and stuff. Anyway, so all the drums, that's one project. So let me take all this stuff off. Solo.
cave to me.
There we go. So that's sort of the
I
end
will
result. You
find
can see up here.
Set
drum
you
track.
free.
So basically, this track alone is what gets exported to the other project. And that's what I build my house on, right? So we go over to the project. Okay, so now I'm in the main project, and here you'll see this is the drum track, right? So this is what I just imported from the other project. And I'm going to build the whole song around this drum track. I can also reinforce those drums further. So like on the chorus, I decided it needed just a little more kick. So I put this rhythm helper track in there, which is basically this. It just sounds like that. And add that to the original drums before I just had this, make it a little stronger. And so from there, I just wanted to look at some of these tracks. This kind of fun stuff. These are the elves. So you might have heard those. This kind of stuff. The way I got those is I send MIDI stuff to an instrument track. So I do a new instrument track, stereo here. Okay, let me put this instrument, Contact 5. It's a plugin I bought called Voices of Elves. And you can play the keyboard or whatever, send MIDI notes to it. Okay, so then we need to drive it with MIDI so we can do like a new MIDI track, right? Okay, so here's the MIDI notes. Spread these out some. So if I play this, just looping over those notes. Right now it's not being sent into it, so we need to send it into it. And then we need to make sure our output is set to our output. You get the idea. You get the idea. So that's how I made those sounds that you heard. Then I have this waterfall effect. This was kind of fun. So here's the waterfall by itself. And to get that, you look at the waterfall MIDI. This is where it gets kind of fun. I was experimenting with this one, so I ended up drawing a waterfall. So if I open this, you can see the MIDI notes are an actual waterfall. So as I play it, you actually get that sound. I like that. And there's, for the vocals, did overdubs.
'Cause waterfalls are the only walls surrounding me.
And then what I do is when I take my vocals, I take them twice. As you can see here, there's the main vocal. So play that.
I wish I could travel ahead in time.
And then there's a vocal, a second one that I don't work as hard on.
I wish I could travel ahead in time.
And I throw different effects on them and then mix them together, and you end up with what I like about dubbing vocals together is it gives it strength, but it also softens it. To me, it does both. It makes it sound a little rounder, a little smoother, but also gives it more reinforcement.
I wish I could travel ahead in time.
I always like that effect. It makes it sound to me more like a record than if I just put one vocal on it. That's it. Here's Renee, the Haze.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah.
So yeah, I played with mine. It's
Found rest in the heart of a mountain, yeah, yeah, yeah. Finding pieces of my heart along the way.
Anyway, bass. Here's the bass. What I wanted here was somewhere between like a Sade kind of bass and that's what I like, the real 80s synth stuff is cool. I mean, I like it all. But to me, this song just works with that.
'Cause there are miles and miles of mountains left to climb.
Okay. What else we got in here? Pads. This was another one like with the mountains left to climb. I actually drew mountains on the MIDI to get it to swell. So there's the mountains, right? You can hear it swelling, but let me show you what it looks like. And the reason I'm telling you mountains is because the lyrics say mountains right there.
Miles and miles of mountains left to climb. And this.
So if you look at the MIDI, let me go over to the pad right here. It's actually in the mod wheel. Here's my mountains. That's something I'm experimenting with, is drawing like visual art into the music to see if I can make it sound like, paint the imagery even better, you know? Just like experimental, really nerdy stuff that I like messing with. Violins, where are we? Right here. All right, here we go.
Mountain, yeah, yeah, yeah. Finding pieces of my heart along the way, yeah, yeah. Finding peace in every step.
Okay. Basically, these violins, they're violins, but it's like you're playing them with your finger, you know, like plucking them, pluck, 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 you know. And then I wanted, like, for the end of the chorus to have like a little Nintendo-y sound. If I can find that. If I go down to that, this one here, it's that little ding at the end of the chorus. That ring. And what I wanted was something that's kind of Nintendo-y, like, you know, like when you get, like, you know in Zelda how it goes like, when you unlock a puzzle or whatever. I wanted something like that. It's like, you succeeded. So that's what I ended up with for that. It's mixed in with the music, though. It kind of blends in, and it gives it a, I don't know, just enhances the video gamey sound of it.
Find a peace in every step I take, 'cause you're less far away.
Okay. Then the arpeggiator. This is super fun stuff right here. Built this with a Moog synthesizer. And this one I wanted like something Nintendo-y, you know, something just real kind of NES sounding, but also echoey and kind of dreamy. So that's where that came from. And then I added this lo-fi effect. It gives it a little buzz. Let me turn this up. You can hear it more. Hear that graininess. In fact, if I limit where this goes, you'll hear it exclusively. It's just ugly graininess, but when you sneak it in just right, it adds just the right amount of bite to make it sound cool. Here's without it. I'll show you without it. I'll mute it. It's just like something's missing, right? So I unmute it. Now it sounds like 8-bit. You know, it sounds old. What else? Oh, this is fun. The chorus. These are the guitars on the chorus. And let me show you what I did for that. This was kind of a fun. This was a pain to come up with. As I was trying really hard to come up with like something that matched. And I was struggling. It was coming out too country sounding. So these are the tracks that make up the the chorus. So this, if I mute these others, see. This is me playing the guitar up by the neck, and it has a hollow sound compared to playing with a pick down by the bridge. And then I added to it little harmonics. So these are the harmonics. This one. And I felt like adding those two together was real harpy. Not harpy, but more harpy than a regular guitar part. And I just felt like that matched more. This is just a helper, add a little phase to it. I'll show you in context.
Said bye to old Hyrule, spun a compass in the canyon spiral, drank rain from the pure.
Okay. And then for the verses, I wanted it to be vastly different, the guitar part to be vastly different. So I went with more of a ballady kind of R&B style guitaring is what I wanted, kind of like Sade music, but like real background and clicky, you know, like that. So in context, play that with the mix.
Ahead in time, 'cause there are miles and miles of mountains left to climb.
Anyway, I think that's about it. I wanted to keep it, it's complicated, but still very simple. Like I wanted to keep the amount going on in the song to a low roar. Like I didn't want it, one of my problems, you know, I'm just a hobby musician, right? So I struggle with some of the things that the ones that professionally do this I don't struggle with as much, but it's keeping it super simple. I tend to cram too much into my songs, make them super busy, and so I'm trying to back that off a little bit. But if I back it off too much, it sounds sparse and skeletal, so I try not to do that. And then if I want to play with these toys more, you know, I try to just reinforce the few parts that I have, you know, like instead of one waterfall track, there's 4 different sounds that I'm mixing together, but it's not 4 different parts. It's one part with 4 different sounds, you know, kind of thing. Anyway, I thought you might enjoy this and check it out.
Wish I could travel ahead in time, 'cause there are miles and miles of mountains left to climb. And this old sun beating on my back, the same ball of fire up the path. I wish I could show you all the blues and greens, 'cause waterfalls are the only walls surrounding me. Is it fatigue that brings me to my knees, or the greatest voyage my eyes have ever seen? Said bye to old Hyrule, spun a compass in the canyon spiral, drank rain from the purest fountain, found rest in the heart of a mountain. Yeah, 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 finding pieces of my heart along the way. Yeah, yeah, finding peace in every step I take, 'cause you're less far away. Wish I could find you here in this cave, but it's just miles and miles of dust and open grave. When this old bag of bones I'm dragging starts to ache, I try to force my eyes to find the treasures in your wake. I wish I could travel to yesterday. I wish I could stop the world from taking you away. I wanna give you back the world you gave to me, so I will find you, set you free. Went north to go find you, cut you loose from the ropes that bind you, mapped out this whole landscape so you and I can make our big escape. Yeah, 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 finding pieces of my heart along the way. Yeah, yeah, finding peace in every step I take, 'cause you're less far away. In the canyon spiral, drank rain from the purest fountain, found rest in the heart of a mountain. Went north to go find you, cut you loose from the ropes that bind you, mapped out this whole landscape so you and I can make our big escape. Yeah, 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 finding pieces of my heart along the way. Finding peace in every step I take, 'cause you're less far away.